Hey there, everybody. This video is our preview for Greenleaf Season 5, Episode 8, otherwise known as the series finale. And I feel like 99% of the time we would come into this finale feeling like sad that it's ending, but celebratory that we've been on this journey, that it's been so exciting, but it's just I don't know how we're anything other than just like really, really sad at this point.
Yeah, and after seeing the promo, of course, there's spoilers ahead here,
Yeah.
so earmuffs if you haven't seen this episode that just passed. But after seeing this promo, seeing everybody wearing black, no Bishop anywhere,
Yeah. It's not looking good.
yeah, he's looking like he's gone.
Well, we're gonna try to talk through everything, give our own theories as to what could be coming down the road here. But before we do, if you guys do enjoy this discussion, give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and check out our links in the description to the store, our Patreon, where we have a number of different benefits if you're interested in signing up for that. And here we go with the final episode of Greenleaf.
So obviously, the big news is that Bishop is dead, or at least
Yeah.
that is what they have led us to believe. Yes, the ambulance was called. Is it possible they're going to get there in time? It's possible. Anything is possible. But after seeing the promo, like I said, seeing everybody, in black suits and black dresses, and there wasn't any casket going into the ground or anything like that, but seeing what everybody's wearing is giving me funeral vibes. And I've been to enough funerals and have run enough funerals.
Yeah.
I'm an ex-funeral director, for those of you who don't know, to know what it looks like. So this is feeling like he's gone, and it's still really shocking that this is where they went with it, even though I've seen your guys' comments that people were feeling like this was coming, and I should have listened to you guys, but I was just in denial about it. I didn't want to see it going that direction. And this isn't a show that I expected to wrap everything up with a bow, because the show has never been like that. But I did not expect the show to decide to kick me in the heart. I just didn't think it was going to go there.
Especially so late in the run where we don't really... I mean, I guess if there's a spinoff, we can recover while we watch the spinoff, but this is only a week to mourn Bishop Greenleaf, who was just this incredible, awesome character who gets this redemption and has this powerful speech. And, I think with a lot of shows, you'd see a promo like this, and you would kind of go down that rabbit hole of, oh, they don't show his picture at the funeral. You don't see for sure that it's his funeral. There's no body. Anything could happen, but I don't think that Greenleaf is out to try to deceive us here. I don't think there's any
No.
tomfoolery that's going on. Just this whole entire promo was basically Lady May giving this speech, and I think tonally, just the way that she's talking, you can sort of get a sense as to what exactly she's speaking towards. And this idea of memory is coursing a lot through this, where you're having to sort of say goodbye, but then find a way to get the grace within yourself to move forward. And it's not an easy process. And while, as you sort of alluded to, there have been clues that Bishop's health has not been great. The moment that he said, "I'm as fit as a racehorse" in one of these promos earlier this season, maybe we should have known. But even with that, they're kind of all in the position like we are, where even though you know that something is kind of wrong, you don't expect everything to just go away in a matter of seconds. And that's really what it feels like for Lady May in that moment with Bishop at her bedside.
Yeah, and it was a little bit, also just sort of shocking for me, because it felt like there was numerous different health issues that were going on throughout the seasons, where it felt like we had seen Bishop with his hand shaking a bit. Maybe it was going to be leading into Parkinson's. I think they kind of hinted around that, spoke about that. And then we had memory loss happening this season, which I thought was then going to be connected to Parkinson's, because that can be a part of it. But then all of a sudden this happened, where it seems like he had a stroke, which is something that is, according to, WebMD,
Yeah.
is not part of it. So it's very, very strange in that way that I feel a little bit like I didn't really get enough of a thread of how did we get here. It's from one thing to maybe another thing to something completely different. So it doesn't really matter, I guess, how we got here because we still got here.
I know.
And now we're moving into this final episode where I assume there will be no Bishop. I am assuming that we're gonna get a funeral fit for a king, and it's going to be really awesome and celebrating his life with the family around him. I'm hoping that they're gonna have, of course, prayers, singing, a good cry as I had tonight, and that I'm sure I'm gonna have again next week. But the big thing in the promo is about Lady May, and this was something that Bishop had wanted to sort of move towards anyways, that he was saying, you know, I want you to be somebody who's going to be preaching and talking and leading services, and now we've got her standing on the stage of Calvary, which, you know, was just an episode ago was supposed to be demolished, you know, and here she is and is still standing, and she is still standing through all of this stuff to be able to sort of move forward with everyone. And it looks like everyone is going to be moving forward with her.
I think that is a powerful representation of Lady May, sort of the ultimate survivor figure after everything that she has gone through, that this family has gone through. There are a couple of questions that sort of ring in my head as we're sort of discussing all of this. One of the obvious ones is, is Mavis going to appear? And I think, judging from the fact that this is a funeral, I think you can make a really strong case that Oprah is going to turn back up in this final episode. Plus, there have been teases about it for a long time. That's not like there are multiple episodes now where theoretically she should show up. So I think we're going to see Mavis. That's a part of it. The other thing is and you kind of talked briefly about this, is this the last time that we have seen Keith David as this character? I think insofar as them, being among the land of the living, I don't think we are going to see Bishop be alive anymore, obviously, but are we going to see him in sort of a heavenly state in some way? Is he going to have a conversation with a Lady May, with a Grace, where sort of they're able to establish more closure, even if it's just in their mind? And then are we, as viewers, going to get more closure because of that? It is such a spiritual show that is there something for them trying to show in some shape or form that Bishop is now in a better place?
Yeah, and we haven't really had much of that on this show, sort of having sort of ghostly figures coming back or guardian angels or anything like that. The closest we had to anything like that, and it is still sort of this hanging thing in the air, was the guy that showed up at the cemetery where Grace was at the end of last season, who then sort of became, in a weird way, I guess, like a guardian angel, kind of, that ended up sort of taking the fall for what happened with AJ. And that never really got tied up. And we are at the last episode, and the way that it feels that it's rounded out, it feels like that storyline is not coming back. I think it's gone.
That is probably the thing I'm most disappointed about, honestly, in the final season, is it just feels like that was this huge dramatic tease at the end of last season, and it just feels like they've forgotten about it. And I understand now at this point, like, I would much rather have a series finale devoted to remembering Bishop Greenleaf than going back and picking up that story. I mean, if you can bring it back and address it within, like, a minute or two in the finale, that's fine. But I think there's going to be a lot that this finale has to take on, right? Like, because they have to do the funeral service. We have to see the future of Cavalry. We need to see sort of where a lot of the children of Bishop and, like, where did they end up? What happens with Zora and Sophia? Are they going to set up a spin-off there?
They're going to spin off into a primetime adventure in New York.
Are we going to get the DARIUS spin-off tease that really only exists in my head because I don't think it exists anywhere else? But I think they've got a lot that is on their plate. I think we're going to have a lot of callbacks, a lot of emotion. get your tissues ready because we are...
Because I didn't have them ready tonight, I'll
Yeah.
tell you that. And I was sobbing. So, I'm going to be ready next time.
Nobody knew this was coming, and yet here we are. We have to say goodbye, but it's not going to be easy, but we're all in this together. And of course, now is the best time to hear from you guys. How do you think Greenleaf is going to end? Give us your Season 5, Episode 8 predictions in the comments, and like we said earlier, give us a like, subscribe, and also, if you want to support us, check out the link in the description to the store, to the Patreon, and we will see you here next time.